Alright, welcome to United States Navy Second Life Fire and Emergency Services Training video number 4. This time, we'll be going over the basics of fire suppression operations with attack lines, with the focus on initial attack crew tactics. The number 1 rule for fire suppression operations in general, and IAC operations in particular is this: you go, we go. IACs are 2-person teams, and are to be considered as inseparable. If one teammate has to pull out, then both teammates have to pull out. So, when one person's SCBA low air alarm sounds, both team members will exit and get fresh tanks. The other number 1 rule is, you don't go near a fire without full SCBA on. Mess up on either of those and you'll be issued a case of Q-tips to polish all the rigs with. You may be finished by the time you hit retirement age, but then again, maybe not. Okay, all this that you're about to see is actually easier than it looks. It's just a matter of learning the basics and getting used to it. So, here's the scenario. You arrive at a structure fire. A single-family dwelling, fully involved. You have a crew of 4. 1 officer, 1 driver pump operator, and 2 senior firefighters. Now, for purposes of this training video, I'll be playing one of the senior firefighters, and turning the officer role over to Captain McCullough. You have your full gear on, as well as your full SCBA, though you don't yet have your mask on. Also, make sure to wear your crosshair. Trying to see that tiny mouse look blip against smoke and fire can often become impossible. The crosshair will remove that issue. To turn it on, you type \33 show in local chat. To hide it, it's \33 hide. Once you have your attack lines and attach them to the rig, the pump operator will charge each line and shout out that the line is charged. For example, attack 1, charged. When you hear that your line is charged, you will then open your nozzle to make sure it's working properly. If it is, then you will shout the reply, attack 1, charged, confirmed. This way, we avoid any problems before we start fire suppression. When all attack lines are charged and checked, the IAC will move to the entrance to be used into the building. Once there, the IAC will kneel on the doorknob side of the door, and then check the door for heat. Holding a hose line, you kneel by tapping the page down button. To stand up again, you tap the page down button again. If the door is hot, there is fire right behind it, and precautions need to be taken due to the potential for a backdraft or flashover. In our scenario, the door is very hot. So, the IAC member on the left will move back a few meters from the door and be ready to spray a 30-degree fog stream directly into the door to protect both teammates. When the left person is in place, he or she will put on her SCBA mask and shout in place, mask on, ready. Then, the other team member will put her SCBA mask on, double check that her nozzle is set to 30-degree fog and shout in place, mask on, ready. At this point, the IAC member who moved back will shout go, as she opens her nozzle. Upon hearing go, the member at the door will open the door, duck, not something we can actually do in Second Life, but then open her own nozzle. The covering team member will then move towards the now open door. When both team members are side by side, they will begin advancing into the house, keeping their nozzles moving in a circular pattern, and hitting all the fire it's possible to hit from that position. Now, we are an aggressive fire crew. We will move in as close to the fire as safety permits and hit it hard. We will advance on the fire until it's out or until we have to pull back to refill our SCBA tanks. When the first low air alarm sounds, that crew member will shout, "Low air." The other crew member will confirm hearing it by shouting, "Low air, copy." Then, both will back out, keeping water flowing until they have passed out the door. Then they will shut off the water, remove their masks, stand up and run to the rig to change out air tanks. To do that, you left-click the running board under the pump panel, and select Equipment, then Refill SCBA. Check the air gauge on your left shoulder to confirm your tank is full. Once that's done, they will move back to the door, put masks back on, recheck their water flow, give each other a ready, shout, open their nozzles and re-enter the house to continue fire suppression. And that covers the basics.